Theme 50. The Arts 2. 1. Sculpture. Sculpture. Example.
He works across painting, sculpture, ceramics, furniture, textiles, lighting.
But to try to include something in the sculpture that would make people go, who is this woman?
2. Electric. Electric. Example.
Jobs for factory workers to build high-tech vehicle batteries, electric cars, and hybrid trucks.
And new technologies may solve the energy efficiency problem with alternative and synthetic fuels, or even hybrid electric planes.
3. Literary. Literary. Example.
So how do these literary ideas make the jump into our world?
Oral folklore, religion, and literary history all have a hand in creating this monster.
4. Vivid. Vivid. Example.
It's really a portrait, a very vivid portrait of this animal somewhat sitting on this piece of paper in Dürer's workshop.
They'll have a vivid sensory experience to fall back on.
5. Relaxing. Relaxing. Example.
I've been finding those sorts of projects really relaxing and really good for the head whilst all of this 2020 nonsense explodes around us.
Are you going to stay on the couch relaxing, or are you going to have a lot of friends and family over to your house for a big dinner?
6. Popular. Popular. Example.
And even with a relatively popular president like Obama, the figures for the presidency run about 40, 45, sometimes 50% at best.
Unexpectedly, the High Line became one of the most popular destinations in New York and a landmark on the world tourist map.
7. Enrich. Enrich. Example.
But as I hope to illustrate with my own story, understanding the implications of your evolutionary past can help enrich your personal health.
The third principle is the purpose of the corporation is not merely to enrich shareholders.
8. Imagine. Imagine. Example.
So now I'd like you to imagine playing a very different role, that of the scout.
So we might imagine the painted curtains in this picture as pulled apart to reveal a painting.
9. Provoke. Provoke. Example.
Some stinging insects are, of course, more aggressive than others. But most of the time, they only sting us when we provoke them.
He told the officers this many times, but each statement of no drugs only seemed to provoke more force and make the officers more upset.
10. Transcend. Transcend. Example.
We dream of cosmic expansion. We dream to soar the heavens, to transcend the biological shackles that limit us.
And we're the leaders ensuring that GitHub continues to be a world-class company in all the ways that transcend code.
11. Escape. Escape. Example.
And there is no escape from the wires and the signals that are permeating us now.
No matter how many hours or how many weeks they work, they cannot escape poverty with wages alone.
12. Fundamental. Fundamental. Example.
But it's not because I really made the company more profitable in a fundamental sense.
And
we realized that actually, yeah, we'd made some really, really fundamental bad decisions.
13. Stimulating. Stimulating. Example.
These effects likely result from stimulating the neurotransmitter serotonin, as well as changing the brain's activity at rest.
You can get them, as long as you're getting them out and mentally stimulating them, they will be happy.
14. Visual. Visual. Example.
Another common warning sign is the migraine aura, which can take the form of transient visual changes, tingling, or even trouble speaking.
Because it's so important, the part of the brain responsible for sight, called the visual cortex, takes up a big chunk of our brains.
15. Tainting. Tainting. Example.
I draw with soft pastel, which is dry, like charcoal, but colors. I consider my work drawings, but others call them painting.
Or that you're painting the picture of a utopia that might never be accomplished.
16. Event. Event. Example.
First thing is stop seeing a book like a one-time event. See a book like a friend. You read it over and over. You come back.
This event reminds us that beyond our differences, there is love and humanity.
17. Performance. Performance. Example.
I was a noticeable nobody. Another world was opening up around this time. Performance and dancing.
I mean, it's nerve-wracking to go up on stage and to talk to people and like give a performance.
18. Weapon. Weapon. Example.
And in that disconnected state, yeah, we can build factory farms with no windows, destroy marine life, and use rape as a weapon of war.
The twins agreed, only to find that the lords had hidden a weapon inside the ball, which chased them around the court, trying to kill them.
19. Shade. Shade. Example.
This is the stuff that gives plants their shape and texture. And these little holes that you can see, this is where all the apple cells used to be.
I don't perceive what I'm drawing as ice or water. Instead, the image is stripped down to its most basic form of color and shape.
20. Kettle. Kettle. Example.
So your kettle, for example, is capable of boiling water, but it is not very useful for frying eggs in.
On the contrary, his brother-in-law Giovanni Bellini was really a very, very different kettle of fish in all sorts of ways.